This throws all sorts of issues, legal issues as well, commenting on it because it might develop over the next couple of weeks and days.
I ain't gonna lie, it's not like they haven't lied. It's not like there's something going on there that we may not be privy to, or he may have seen something that he doesn't like, or with him working with him, it's just something that he doesn't want to get caught up with.
Tyler Perry, the man we've come to know as a Hollywood heavyweight, a billionaire mogul, and the creative force behind the iconic Madea franchise, is now at the heart of one of the most jaw-dropping scandals we've ever seen. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, Perry has reportedly pleaded guilty in a shocking deal with the FBI to avoid jail time. Yes, you heard that right. The man who built an empire on faith, family, and redemption is now accused of turning his back on some of his closest allies to save himself from prison. And the fallout? Oh, it's only just beginning.
Filed lawsuit accuses Tyler Perry of assaulting an actor on one of the filmmaker's shows. Actor Derek Dixon has sued Perry for $260 million.
What's even more explosive is this. Perry didn't just cut a deal to save his own skin. He allegedly handed over a treasure trove of evidence, emails, recordings, private messages, all exposing what sources are calling a dark underbelly of corruption in Hollywood. And here's where it gets really wild. The FBI is now using Perry's secret files to target other high-profile figures in the industry, including none other than Diddy Combs. Yes, the music mogul himself, already facing his own legal nightmares, could now have his empire dragged further into the mud thanks to Tyler Perry's cooperation. And we have to ask, how did we even get here? Let's take a step back. Tyler Perry has long been celebrated as the ultimate self-made success story, a symbol of perseverance and triumph against all odds. But behind the scenes, whispers of controversy have followed him for years. From lawsuits accusing him of harassment to allegations of exploiting his power, Perry's reputation hasn't always been as spotless as his box office numbers. And now, with these latest developments, we're forced to wonder, is this the real Tyler Perry? A man willing to betray his closest allies to cling to his empire? Or is he simply a victim of circumstances, doing what he had to do to survive? According to insiders, Perry's decision to cooperate with authorities wasn't just strategic, it was desperate. The evidence he provided purportedly implicates not only Diddy, but also other high-profile players in a web of alleged illicit activities that could shake Hollywood to its core. And if you think this stops at Diddy, think again. Rumors are swirling that Perry's files contain damning details about Diddy's infamous parties, those secretive, star-studded gatherings that some have described as playgrounds for the elite, where anything goes and nothing is off-limits. Could Perry's revelations finally expose the truth about what really happens behind those closed doors? Or is this all just part of a larger game to protect his empire?
Of the timeline that it took for Derek Dixon to come forward with these allegations, if they're true.
Well, that's one of the arguments the defense always makes, right? Is, well, if you were assaulted or harassed, why did you stay? Why didn't you report it right away? What I love as the plaintiff's lawyer is a contemporaneous report. So hopefully they have that. And I understand he's been getting therapy since 2020.
And speaking of empires, let's not forget the ripple effects this scandal is already having. Just days after news of Perry's plea deal broke, Alfonso Ribeiro, yes, Carlton Banks himself, made headlines with a scathing comment about Perry. When a fan suggested Perry could help revamp Ribeiro's career, the actor shot back with a blistering response. I don't need or ever want that man to do anything for me. Ouch. Ribeiro's words seem to hint at a deeper tension, and fans are now speculating about what might have gone down between the two during their brief collaboration on Meet the Browns. Could Ribeiro know something about Perry that the rest of us don't? Or is this just another layer of drama in an already chaotic situation?
When one user would suggest Tyler Perry to revamp his career, much like he did for Jeffrey Owens a few years back. Well, Ribeiro would actually respond to that message with a tweet of his own that read, I don't need or ever want that man to do anything for me.
And then there's Diddy. The once untouchable music mogul is now fighting battles on multiple fronts, with allegations piling up faster than his legal team can respond. From claims of misconduct to shocking accusations about his private life, Diddy's fall from grace has been nothing short of spectacular. But if Perry's evidence truly contains the kind of incriminating material that some sources suggest, then Diddy's current troubles could pale in comparison to what's coming. And let's not forget, Diddy himself has been accused of turning on his own allies in the past. Could this be karma coming back to haunt him? Or is he just another casualty of Perry's survival strategy? Of course, Perry's decision to cooperate with the FBI isn't just about protecting himself. Insiders are now saying that Perry's move came after private conversations with powerful Hollywood insiders who may have pressured him to cut a deal. The stakes couldn't be higher. Perry's billion-dollar empire, which includes his sprawling Atlanta studio, lucrative Netflix deals, and a slate of upcoming projects, is on the line. Was this a calculated move to save everything he's built? Or has Perry unknowingly set himself up for his own downfall? Only time will tell. And let's not forget the growing list of people calling Perry out. Ribeiro's comment isn't the only shade being thrown his way. Monique, who famously accused Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lee Daniels of blackballing her in Hollywood, has been vocal about her grievances for years. And while Perry reportedly apologized to her in private, she claims he refused to go public with that apology. Now with Perry's name back in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, could Monique finally get the vindication she's been waiting for? Or will this scandal only deepen the divide between Perry and those he's wronged?
Yeah, no, it definitely felt personal to me as well. And I think it's good to note as well that they have actually worked together in some fashion, because he's directed, and by he, I mean Alfonso has directed. He has 12 directing credits on the former Tyler Perry sitcom Meet the Browns. So I know a lot of people was questioning like, hey, you know, have they worked together before? Do they know each other? So I do think that's good to note. But when I saw the tweet, I definitely thought it was personal from just that man. It's like 2 words can make a lot of difference.
And here's another layer of intrigue. Perry's plea deal has sparked new interest in the whispers and rumors that have surrounded him for years, from allegations of mistreating actors on his sets to claims of questionable behavior in his personal life. Perry's carefully crafted public image is starting to crack. And as more details emerge about his cooperation with the FBI, we're left wondering just how much of Perry's success story is built on a foundation of secrets and lies.
Now, one thing that won't flop is Alfonso Ribeiro's career. He recently stated that one thing he will not do is work with Tyler Perry ever again. After sharing that his career has been stifled after his role as Carlton Banks in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a fan has suggested that he should work with Tyler Perry. However, the actor did not approve of that comment and said, "I don't need or ever want that man to do anything for me."
But the question remains, why now? Why would Perry, one of the most powerful and successful figures in Hollywood, risk everything by turning on his own? Could it be that the walls were closing in and he had no other choice? Or is this part of a larger, more calculated plan to secure his legacy at all costs? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is clear: this is just the beginning. The fallout from Perry's plea deal is already sending shockwaves through Hollywood, and the full extent of his cooperation with the FBI has yet to be revealed. And as we dig deeper into this tangled web of deceit, betrayal, and desperation, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. What else is lurking in Perry's so-called secret files? Who else could be implicated in this unfolding scandal? And most importantly, will Tyler Perry's empire survive the storm? Or will this be the beginning of his ultimate downfall?
Response left fans surprised, but they seem to forget that the two have worked together before. Ribeiro had directed 12 episodes of Perry's Meet the Browns, but things took a turn when an actor claimed that he was forced to play a role or he was at risk of losing his job. It was also one of the episodes that Ribeiro had directed.
The fallout from Tyler Perry's shocking confession is already sending ripples through Hollywood, and the cracks in his once untouchable empire are starting to show. Alfonso Ribeiro's brutal public statement, "I don't ever want that man to do anything for me," has left fans and insiders alike scratching their heads. Was this a simple rejection of Perry's influence, or does Ribeiro hold secrets he's not ready to share? We can't ignore the timing. This pointed remark comes just as Perry's alleged cooperation with the FBI has raised questions about who else might be implicated in his files. Could Ribeiro have had a front row seat to the kind of behavior Perry is now trying to keep buried? And if so, why speak out now? What's even more intriguing is how this public distancing may be part of a larger, brewing rebellion against Perry. Behind the scenes, whispers are growing louder about a so-called hidden feud network, a group of Hollywood insiders who are reportedly banding together to expose Perry's alleged misdeeds. Names like Monique, Spike Lee, and even Christian Keese have surfaced in connection to this rumored alliance. Monique, of course, has been one of Perry's most vocal detractors for years, accusing him of blackballing her after her Oscar-winning performance in Precious. She's claimed that Perry privately apologized to her for his role in the fallout, but refused to go public with that apology. And now, with Perry's empire under scrutiny, could Monique finally get the justice she's been demanding?
Certainly be helpful, in addition to the text message evidence that we had. Sometimes victims don't want to come forward, right? You're talking about a rich and famous individual, and look at what's happened. Perry's lawyer came out and said, this guy's lying. This is a shakedown. This is extortion, right? They always go after the victim. And we don't know if the allegations are true in this case or not, but very few harassment cases are reported or litigated, and often
Spike Lee's name being attached to this so-called resistance is equally fascinating. While Lee and Perry have reportedly buried the hatchet in recent years, let's not forget the cutting remarks Lee once made about Perry's work, calling it coonery and buffoonery. Lee's criticisms resonated with many who have questioned Perry's portrayal of Black culture. If there's anyone with the clout and influence to spearhead a movement against Perry, it's Spike. But would he risk reigniting their feud? Or has this hidden feud network taken on a life of its own, independent of any one person's grievances?
Come forward, because if you're a victim, you're gonna have to really tell your story in a very, very public way. What is interesting though is under California law, he could have filed as a John Doe or a Jane Doe, and he chose not to. So I thought that was interesting.
And then there's Christian Keyes, whose past allegations against a powerful billionaire have once again come under the spotlight. Though Keyes never named Perry directly, the timing of his story and the striking parallels to the accusations now swirling around Perry have fans connecting the dots. Could Keyes' revelations be tied to the evidence Perry allegedly handed over to the FBI? And if so, why hasn't Keyes spoken out further? Could there be more to his silence, perhaps some unspoken pressure to keep quiet?
If you're the defense, and do you look at that he didn't file as a John Doe and say, look, this is proof that this was a shakedown, which is the term that they've used?
Look, it's interesting. Obviously, the fact that he didn't file as a John Doe, that's not an argument that the defense can make. But really, and I've sued a lot of celebrities. I'm sitting here in Hollywood right now. I've represented some, but sued a lot more. So I've handled a lot of cases like this. Most of the time, the victims will come in, and when I explain what a lawsuit entails, they have pause, right?
What makes this all even more chilling is the nature of the evidence Perry has reportedly shared with authorities. Sources close to the investigation claim that Perry's files include damning details about Diddy's infamous parties, which have long been the subject of rumors and speculation. These gatherings, attended by some of the biggest names in the industry, were shrouded in secrecy, with tales of indulgence and excess leaking out only in whispers. If Perry's cooperation with the FBI has unearthed proof of what really went on at these events, the repercussions could be catastrophic for everyone involved. Could this be why Perry turned on his own allies? To get ahead of a scandal that was bound to explode anyway?
Because everyone cares about the reputation in Hollywood, and whether it's cancel culture or just bad press, it can force a defendant to settle. So that's a tool that you have to use if you're a plaintiff's attorney representing victims like this.
Meanwhile, Diddy's own legal troubles are already mounting. The FBI's investigation into his alleged misconduct has turned into a firestorm, with new allegations surfacing almost daily. And now, with Perry's files potentially adding fuel to the fire, Diddy's once glittering empire is teetering on the brink. But Diddy isn't the only one who should be worried. While Hollywood's elite are reportedly holding their breath, wondering who else's name might come up in Perry's files. After all, if one of Hollywood's most prolific creators is willing to cooperate with investigators, what's stopping others from doing the same? And this brings us to a question no one seems ready to answer. Is Perry's plea deal just the tip of the iceberg? Hollywood has always thrived on secrets, but this latest twist could unravel years, even decades of carefully constructed facades. The entertainment world is no stranger to scandals, but this feels different. The stakes are higher, the players more powerful, and the consequences potentially devastating. If Perry's files are as explosive as insiders claim, we could be looking at a domino effect that topples some of the industry's biggest names. As for Perry himself, his future remains uncertain. While his cooperation with the FBI may have spared him jail time for now, the court of public opinion is another matter entirely. Fans who once celebrated Perry as a self-made icon are now questioning everything they thought they knew about him. And those who've long criticized his work see this as validation of their concerns. The man who built an empire on themes of faith and redemption now finds himself at the center of a storm that threatens to destroy everything he's worked for. But is this the end of Tyler Perry, or a calculated move to protect his legacy at all costs?
As soon as the tweet was posted online, fans were shocked and confused at Ribeiro's refusal of Tyler Perry's role, making folks wonder if there's any animosity between the two.
And let's not forget the ripple effects this scandal is having beyond Perry. Hollywood is a town built on alliances, and those alliances are shifting fast. Who will stand by Perry as more details emerge, and who will distance themselves to save their own reputations? The rumored hidden feud network may be just the beginning of a larger reckoning within the entertainment industry. As more names are dragged into the spotlight, the question isn't just who's guilty, it's who's next. But let's not forget what Perry's cooperation could mean for Hollywood's power dynamics. For years, the entertainment industry has been criticized for its shadowy hierarchies, where a select few wield unchecked authority over careers, projects, and reputations. Perry's alleged files might not just implicate individuals, but expose the very structures that allow exploitation and corruption to thrive. If the evidence he provided includes proof of systemic abuses, such as coercive contracts, backroom deals, or even blackmail, it could trigger a domino effect. forcing Hollywood's elite to finally reckon with the toxic culture they've long kept hidden. These revelations could have a chilling effect on the industry's biggest players. Imagine the fear rippling through Hollywood's most powerful figures as they wonder what secrets Perry has shared. For years, actors, directors, and writers have whispered about the unspoken rules of success, the compromises, the cover-ups, and the alliances built on mutual silence. If Perry's deal with the FBI cracks open this hidden world, it could embolden others to come forward with their own stories of manipulation and betrayal. And in a town where loyalty is often just another transaction, who knows how many will turn on their former allies to protect themselves. This isn't just about individual scandals. It's about the very foundation of Hollywood's power structures. For decades, the industry has operated on a hierarchy where the few at the top control opportunities for everyone below. Perry himself was once seen as a disruptor of this system, a self-made mogul who built his empire outside traditional Hollywood channels. But now, his alleged cooperation with authorities raises questions about whether he was ever truly free of the power games that rule the industry. Could Perry's downfall reveal that even the most independent creators are still beholden to the same corrupt forces pulling the strings? And what about the psychological toll this could take on those involved? Perry is now being painted as both a villain and an unwitting whistleblower, a man whose actions may inadvertently bring some of Hollywood's darkest secrets to light. For someone who built his career on themes of redemption and morality, this is a bitter irony, but perhaps that's exactly why his cooperation is so significant. By turning over evidence, Perry may have been forced to confront the very system he once thrived in, a system that may have enabled his success while exploiting others along the way. Is this the ultimate act of survival, or a reluctant attempt to clean up an industry that's long overdue for a reckoning? So we get to this article, and I guess I need a few context, but dear listener...
There have been some sexual assault claims made by him. It's a chap called Derek Dixon, and it's a $260 million lawsuit. And let me say it's interesting because he is Lilibet's godfather. He revealed this on the Netflix show. He appeared as a character witness for Harry and Meghan in their...
The real question is whether Hollywood is ready for such a reckoning. If Perry's files inspire others to speak out, we could be looking at a wave of revelations that shakes the industry to its core. From power brokers to rising stars, no one will be immune to scrutiny if this domino effect takes hold. And while Perry may have thought his deal would save him, it could end up making him a symbol of Hollywood's long-hidden rot. The entertainment world might be glamorous on the surface, but this scandal is peeling back the curtain to reveal a much darker reality. One thing is certain: the entertainment world may never be the same. Tyler Perry's fall from grace has exposed cracks in Hollywood's glittering facade, and those cracks are widening by the day. Will Perry's empire survive this storm, or will he be remembered as the man who brought Hollywood to its knees? And as for those who've stood in his shadow, the allies, the enemies, the silent witnesses, how long before their secrets come to light? What do you think? Is Tyler Perry's cooperation with the FBI a strategic move or a shocking betrayal? And who do you think might be next in line for public scrutiny? Let us know in the comments below. Until then, keep your eyes open, because in Hollywood, the truth is always stranger than fiction. See you next time, and stay tuned. The drama is far from over.